Our friend is going to take his seat.
There might be COVID there.
Gets crowded.
Okay, you're live.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to call the special meeting of the Board of Aldermen to order. Would you please rise and join me in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It looks like we have everyone in attendance with the exception of Lorenzo Durant. Okay, so the first item for the board's consideration is funding for the purchase of 3 vans for the Shelton City Transportation Service and a waiver of bid.
Move per the recommendation of the finance director to waive the bids for the purchase of 3 passenger vans for the Shelton Student Transportation Services. Further, move to appropriate an amount of $128,238 with funding to come from automatic bonding pursuant to section 7.16 of the city charter. So moved.
Second. Motion is made and seconded. Discussion. Just a couple of quick comments with respect to the waiver here. We, like everyone else in the country and the world, have been facing supply chain issues. The time to bid is really specific to the manufacturing, the window of manufacturing. They do these things twice a year, and you've got to put your order in. And so, in an event to try to get these vans in town for September 1st, we needed to place our order a month or so ago, and we did. And so now should be on track to get them sometime in August. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Hearing none opposed, motion carries. Item 2 is the funding for the purchase of various items for Shelton Public School System.
Move to appropriate an amount of $53,682.59 for the purchase of the following items for the Shelton Public School System. 1 cafeteria tables at Shelton Intermediate School, $47,408.60. 2 steam pipe replacement parts at Elizabeth Shelton School, $3,149.91. And 3 ceiling tiles for Shelton High School workshop renovation, $3,124.08, with funding to come from automatic bonding pursuant to section 7.16 of the city charter. So moved.
Second. Motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? Pretty straightforward. All things that are going directly to the school system.
The cafeteria tables did go on to bid.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3 is the purchase of 2 fire trucks for the Shelton Fire Department.
Move to approve an agreement between Seagrave Fire Apparatus LLC and the city of Shelton to purchase 2 fire trucks for the Shelton Fire Department. Further, authorize Mayor Mark LeRae to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the same. So moved.
Second. Motion is made and seconded. Discussion.
Go ahead.
Are these trucks compatible with the ones that we already have? You know?
No, he's not involved in this discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Compatibility has got nothing to do with what we already have, because when you buy trucks 15, 20 years ago, there's nothing compatible anymore with the way technology has changed. So therefore, these are state-of-the-art issue, and the Board of Fire Commissioners put the bid spec together and recommended to bid.
This process takes a number of months and a number of meetings where the fire commissioners are involved. And the only question I would have is to ask you to share with us the rationale for the purchase of 2 versus 4 trucks.
Well, unlike everybody else, I think prices are going to come down. I think a lot of things are going to change in the next year and a half, and I'm willing to roll the dice on that.
Are these trucks got a home already? What house are they going to?
I have no idea. All right.
So my point is, you're not questioning the need, but you think that the timing will be, in a year's time, it's gonna be a lot different.
I believe that. I think with a lot of things, and, they say it's gonna take 2 years to take delivery of these
Yep.
trucks, and I don't believe that either, but okay, so.
So the other thing that concerned me, I don't want to raise it as an issue, but the only thing that concerned me is I'm saying to myself as I'm thinking this through, we're not appropriating any money. We're approving the purchase without appropriating any money. And we're committing some future board 2 years down the road to have to pay full price on the spot to take delivery. Is that all good and proper
Well, it's the way it is.
with our charter?
It's the way it is.
Okay.
This is the way they operate. And, normally it wouldn't take 2 years to take delivery on these trucks.
So we do it differently.
So, I can't be concerned about that. I mean, if another board wants to come in and cancel the order, then let them do that, let them deal with the consequences. So,
Is there any earmarking of any monies in anticipation for this that's gonna happen, or we're just?
we don't need to do that at this point. I imagine in a year from now, we'll be sitting there making an appropriation. So, or sometime close in that time. But okay, that's my opinion. Anybody else?
There are alternate ways to fund this, which we aren't even discussing at this point because it's inappropriate.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Item number 4 is cultural resource assessment for Constitution Boulevard North Extension waiver of RFP. Before we do that, we're asked, if we're gonna use state money, I think we have to bid it.
Mayor, I've spoken with the state. It's actually a suggestion of the state that we just contracted somebody. There's a limited amount of these individuals who do it, and the state itself does not bid out when it retains an archaeologist.
Well, that's a first, I must say. And I like to get it in writing from them because 6 months from now, when they're doing an audit on our grant and they say, oh, well, you got someone new into the equation that's reading out of the textbook. This is what you're dealing with. There's no common sense in the coming generations.
We put a cover letter on the contract to the archaeologist.
Yeah, I think you should reference Kelly when we apply for the funding that we spoke to so-and-so on such and such a date. This was their recommendation. Okay, yeah, the motion.
Move per the recommendation of the finance director to waive the RFP for the cultural resource assessment and reconnaissance for Constitution Boulevard Extension and the associated Commerce Park. Further move to approve an agreement between the city of Shelton and Bob Baber, B-A-B-E-R Associates, and authorize Mayor Mark A. Loretti to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate same. So,
Second.
Motion is made. Second, is there any further discussion?
just note that is B-A-B-E-R, I believe.
R.I.P.
It's R-A-B, okay, R-A-B is so clear. R-A-B, Robert, okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 is the funding for the engineering services for Constitution Boulevard North Extension.
Move to appropriate an amount of $140,000, $140,800 for Phase 2 engineering services performed by DeCarlo and Dow Inc. for Constitution Boulevard North Extension, with funding to come from
Will have to come from automatic bonding.
automatic bonding. pursuant to section 7.16 of the city charter. So moved.
Second. Motion is made and seconded, for discussion purposes. This work is already completed and we already have a bid as part of phase one. So we know what the cost associated with this. And, we are going to hold off before we award a contract to extend the construction for the phase two. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, as this goes on, here's what happens. And I asked today, because we're going to say to yourself, how much have we spent so far? So I told them, track that and keep us informed.
Oh, yeah, and Teresa can send it to you. You got the cost of our first engineering firm, which was Hacks. Didn't perform, so we shifted gears and we went with the Cardinal Dow. And incurred a cost, and now we have another cost. So the engineering services are completed for this road.
Yeah, we appropriated so far 440,000, and we spent all but 4,500. That's where it stands.
Okay, all those in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, I'll continue a motion for adjournment.
Your agendas, before you, may I just comment, Teresa said, keep you informed, but, you know, she's having trouble putting together next week's agenda, so bear with her because it's going to be a little bit tight. Okay, so as soon as you can get it to you, she'll get it to you.
Okay, motion for adjournment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Please, yes.